a $200 per month raise, plus a $1,400 fourth stimulus check specifically focused on the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, and RRB. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know here in the video. Let's get into it and talk through the details. All right, now these two topics are by far the most popular topics that I get questions about down below in the comment section. I receive emails about, and this is a very commonly asked question that I receive in chats on live streams as well. I see it all over the place from many people here in the community, and again, rightfully so. That is totally okay. I don't blame you one bit. As a low income or a fixed income beneficiary, we all want to know the exact same question. When we're sick and tired of struggling financially, when is it going to come in, right? When is this going to be implemented? When are we going to get it? How much is it going to be? Who is going to be included? The list of questions go on and on like this. And again, I don't blame anybody for asking these questions. I want to know the exact same things as well. However, I want to focus on both of these simultaneously here in this video because it's kind of an interesting type of situation. Now, here's what's interesting about it. These are very similar, but at the end of the day, they're also very, very, very different. Now, the cool thing about it is, yeah, I guess technically both of these could be implemented simultaneously. In other words, you could literally get both of these at the exact same time, okay? I'll explain exactly why. Now, here's what's interesting about this as well. The $200 per month raise. Remember, this originally came back was brought up, I should say, back in early 2020 with a small handful of lawmakers out of the Senate where they introduced it, and it was going to be a temporary $200 raise. And then it kind of disappeared. Nothing ever happened with it. And then maybe like a year and a half-ish ago, maybe 2 years ago now, I don't remember exactly when it was, but Bernie Sanders and some of his buddies out of the Senate came back and reintroduced the Social Security Expansion Act. That's the legislation that contains the new, revised, and improved $200 per month raise. Now, here's what's interesting about it, and this is just my opinion, but I'm going to throw it there really fast. Because they've taken so long to implement a $200 per month raise for beneficiaries, it's taken them so long and the cost of living has gone up so substantially, it shouldn't be $200 anymore. We should now be looking like $300, $350, $400 raise. That's really what we should be talking about these days. $200, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice, it'd be helpful, but it's nowhere near what beneficiaries need now because the cost of living has gone up so substantially since they actually originally introduced this, 5 years ago? Yeah, we're now talking about, significantly more than that, because the cost of living has gone up like 25%. So therefore, $200, yeah, sorry, that's not really going to cut it anymore. Anyway, that's just my opinion about that. But don't get me wrong, we still want to be very grateful for even a $200 raise. Okay, now here's what's interesting, okay? I want to point this out. A few changes came in beginning of 2025. Some interesting things. Number one would be Bernie Sanders was appointed to the Senate Finance Committee, okay? Remember, Bernie Sanders, I just pointed him out a second ago. He was the architect behind the Social Security Expansion Act. Again, the legislation that contains the new $200 per month raise or $2,400 increase on an annualized basis. Not bad, right? Which, by the way, the Senate Finance Committee is a very powerful group of individuals that have basically jurisdiction over this type of information, as in raising Social Security, changing the program massively, also taxation, things like that. Again, we know that that's a big one out there as well, because who's going to pay for it? They need to get tax revenue somewhere or something to pay for this. I mean, that's what they all talk about anyway. So that's another big one, right? Okay, so that's that. Now let's quickly, by the way, in the event that they were to implement a $200 per month raise to beneficiaries, if they were to implement this, right? Again, no idea what they're going to do here, but I'm simply saying, if they were to do this, this would be paid directly out of Social Security. In other words, the trust fund and the payroll taxes collected from, the working population, things like that, people that are paying in through the payroll taxes, they're the ones who would fund basically the $200 per month raise for the beneficiaries that'd be eligible to get it. Okay, just remember that coming out of Social Security. However, now let's transition and talk about a $1,400 fourth stimulus check. In the event, again, of this being applied as well, this is not paid by Social Security. I know there's a lot of people that have suggested, like, hey, Social Security is not going to send us anything. Here's the thing. Stimulus checks don't come from Social Security. I know it seems like it does. Doesn't. Does not come from Social Security. What happens is, this is basically just like general federal funds that are appropriated to send out in the form of stimulus payments or economic impact payments, as they officially are called. And these are basically just sent out to the people from the Treasury. And basically, with a partnership from the IRS, the Treasury, things like this, they have the banking information. Oh, by the way, partnering with Social Security as well, because Social Security has basically banking information for 72.5 million beneficiaries, as well as the IRS banking information for all the people that file tax returns. They basically have everybody's information, right? My point is, between the partnership of these different entities, government entities, what happens is that when the money is appropriated, they basically just distribute it that way, and it does not come out of Social Security trust fund money, and it does not come out of Social Security payroll tax money either. That is totally separate. So in theory and in reality, yeah, these could technically be distributed at the same time. Because here's why. I mean, I kind of already made it very clear, but if they were to pass either a standalone bill to implement a $200 per month raise for Social Security beneficiaries, that could be number one. Or if they were to pass the Social Security Expansion Act, again, that would also implement the $200 per month raise. Now, in or when the economy, again, gets into a very precarious situation, and they do provide and pass additional stimulus, again, that's just provided, from the Treasury, the IRS, and again, partnering with Social Security to get that banking information as well. And again, they basically distribute the money that way in the form of stimulus, right? So it's very, very different. They have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. So when it comes down to it, yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to do it, they could do that. In fact, back in early 2020, when they originally introduced the $200 per month raise, Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden, those are the three that introduced it originally, back in March of 2020, again, over 5 years, or I should say about 5 years ago. At that point, when they originally introduced that, they were already sending out $1,200 stimulus checks at that time. So literally, that is an example of them introducing the $200 raise alongside stimulus checks that were being distributed at that time, the $1,200, years ago. Does that kind of make sense? So yeah, this is where we're at right now. And again, it's all kind of predicated on what happens with the legislation going forward this year. What does Bernie Sanders and his buddies out of the Senate there, as well as the Senate Finance Committee, what do they pull off as far as reforming Social Security, raising benefits, and different agenda items that they have there? And then what happens with the economy here? That's another really big one as well. What happens with the economy is a very big one when it comes down to stimulus and when/how they provide additional stimulus, if any, at some point. And again, here's the thing. I want to point this out because I've had a number of comments coming in over the years that have said, oh, we'll never get another stimulus. I wouldn't say never. Never is a very powerful word, right? Never and always and words like that. Yeah, I don't prefer those words simply because I wouldn't say that. Here's the thing. Stimulus is not a once and done thing. They've done it for decades. Every time we go into a recession, we get stimulus. In some way, shape, or form, we get stimulus. So we will see another recession. It's going to be a big, nasty one. When we do officially see the big thing happen, whenever that happens, they're going to provide stimulus. They do it every time, right? There's no exception to the rule. They have to. That's the only way out of an economic contraction for the most part. To just rely on people to go out and spend their money at that time without any type of stimulus, not happening. They have to print money. They need to plow money into the economy, and the best way that they can do that is by giving it to us and telling us to spend it. That's literally what stimulus checks are for, to give them to us so we can spend them on goods and services to get money back into the economy and provide demand for products and services. That's literally what it's for. So anyway, so I kind of give you a better explanation as to the $200 per month raise, a $1,400 fourth stimulus check, anything like that. These working in tandem, side by side, distributed simultaneously. Can they be done? Yes. Could they be done sometime at the same time? Yes. Will they be done at the same time? I don't know. Things like that. There's a lot of different moving parts here, but that's what it comes down to. Make sense? Anyway, I hope this helps you. Again, as always, please leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. As always, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I'm here to advocate for you. I'm here to represent you. I'm here to do all the research so you don't need to and break it down in these short videos and just help you out in any way that I possibly can. I get it. It's a confusing time out there, and I will continue to watch everything very closely and bring it to you in these short videos every single day. So again, if I can ask a huge favor of you, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Totally free to do so. Big subscribe button down below. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Otherwise, if you can think of 1 or 2 people that benefit from this information here in the video or that benefit from knowing me and or this channel, please feel free to share this video with them. Again, there's a share button right down below. Thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate that. I just truly appreciate all of you here in this community. Otherwise, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right now showing up on your screen as well, you'll see some videos there. Thanks again. Take your selection now, and I'll see you again a little bit later in the next video.